Hi, friends. I have a personal video today and want to show you some very meaningful things, and maybe as a gesture that uh, you might find some way to repurpose some meaningful things in your life too. So, what do I mean by that? Well, some of you know from reading my post that my mom passed away on August 2nd. And last night, I received a box from my sisters, some things that my mom wanted to send to me and to our girls and special mementos. And one of the things I asked was, I said, if no one minds, would you be okay if I have her handwritten recipes? Um, and again, I didn't want to, take them from anyone there, but they were like, they won't be vegan. I'm like, I know, I just want the handwritten recipes. So, but she had a lot of them, so I hope they kept some as well. They probably did. But last night I got the box and opened it up, and there were, special jewelry items and other mementos. And I found the recipe book or one of them. And after I cried a little bit, I just looked through and it's just so special because, we now live in a time when everything's at our fingertips and our cookbooks are always printed or we're searching online to get the recipe. But this is where kitchen, magic and sharing the love of cooking. This is how it began, was by sharing recipes over a tea and bringing your cookies to your girlfriend's house, and you'd sit down and talk about it and write down the recipe. And that's exactly what this has. It's handwritten recipes throughout this little notebook. And of course, there are some printed recipes which are pasted in, but mostly it is a collection of recipes that she loved of her friends, that she made herself. And what I really love about the recipes as I was going through, actually, the first thing, one of the things I noticed was a recipe that says Dreena's banana flax cake. No idea what that recipe is. Either I've lost my mind, which could very well be, or I don't know, maybe I created the recipe and told her what was in it and forgot to write it down myself or lost the recipe along the way. I don't know, but I'll be making that recipe. No, maybe it'll remind me what happened there. But what's so special is that the recipes, most of the recipe names are things like Shirley's tea buns. And then on the next page, there might be Alice's tea buns. And then on another page, it's Hetty's pie crust. Um, that's kind of the theme of the recipes here. It's someone's recipe, and you collect it and create your own collection of your own. And yeah, there's not a lot of vegan recipes in there. Surprisingly, there's a tofu quiche. I went, what? How did that get in there? So I'm gonna have to make that as well. But I did say to the girls that over the holidays, I'm going to pick a couple and veganize them, like one of her cookies or something. They may not be the healthiest, but that's my intention, is to veganize. But this is just like so precious to have the handwritten and to see my mother's handwriting. And I know some of you have this as well. So hold on to it. If you have this in your life, those treasured handwritten memories from childhood, from your upbringing, this is pretty special. Which brings me to the next thing, which is related to my mother, but also to my work. So after writing Let Them Eat Vegan, one of my recipe testers um, sent me this beautiful quilt. I have received a few quilts from my recipe testers. I have the most beautiful people in my community. Thank you. To receive a gift like that, it just blew my mind. each time, like that someone takes the time to make something with their hands and send it to you with a note of appreciation. It's a remarkable thing to receive something like that. So she sent me this quilt, and it has fabric with a kitchen theme. I love the colors, and it's never for the dogs. It has to be up here so the dogs don't get on it. And she also stitched in words that were special to my recipes or my books, like ED and BV is stitched in here for Eat, Drink, and Be Vegan, which was the book before that. Tea and Cookies is stitched in here, and PB Ice Cream, which is in Let Them Eat Vegan. So again, I was just mind blown that she would do that. And then um, a few years later, I was looking in my closet, and after my dad died, he passed away when I was 11. And some of you again know it was a tragic accident, and it just turned everything upside down for our family very quickly. Um, I happened to have a couple of his shirts. I had one of his like dress shirts, a button-down dress shirt, and a t-shirt with like a pocket. And they'd been hanging in a suit bag for decades. And I looked at them one day, and Christmas was coming up, and I looked at them and I thought, oh, what can I do with these? Like, I'm holding on to them because there's sentiment. Obviously, this is why we tend to hold on to these things. It's like there's that sentiment in our heart and we can't let it go. But I was thinking no one is seeing them and they're just sitting or, hanging in the cupboard. So I reached out to my friend Michelle, who made this, and I said, do you think you would be able to do something with these items to make a quilt for my mother? And I also had a scarf. And so I sent them to her in Ontario. And she makes this most beautiful quilt with the shirt pieces and the scarf. And last night, the quilt came back to me. And it's emotional because I look at it and I see pieces of my dad. And I have this sense of my mom. It smells like her house. Uh, and it's amazing. It's heartbreaking, but amazing. But if you look at this quilt, you can see the blue here. I have to show you, even though I'm getting teared up, I have to show you how she worked in one of the dress shirts here. That's the cuff. And the blue is also here. And then the scarf is, I just had it right here. There's the scarf. And then she put the pocket of the shirt in another one. And when I sent this to my mom, she just loved it. She really, really loved it. And now I get to love it. And when Michelle made it, I asked her just to send it directly to Newfoundland because it didn't make sense for her to send it out west and then for it to go all the way back east. So I saw photos of it, and I saw it when I went back to visit briefly. But yeah, it's pretty beautiful and most special. So I'm sharing this, I guess, just to share and to say, if you have something that you're holding on to that you don't want to let go, maybe there's a way you can make it into something renewed for yourself or a loved one. I can never thank Michelle enough for this. With that, I just say thank you for allowing me to share my story with you, for listening, for being in my community, and I hope it maybe gave you a little inspiration or touched your heart in a way as well. Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.